computer to bring everybody in. Hey, y'all doing? It's Friday. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Can y'all hear me okay? Because my computer acting real funky today. Hey, y'all. It's Friday. My name is Jessie Lynn. I am a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty, and we are the Home Buyers Clubhouse. Hey, ladies. How y'all doing?
Hello. Happy Friday.
Yes, yes. Erica, introduce yourself, sweetie.
I am Erica Batts, a mortgage lender with New American Funding.
Awesome. Takia.
I am Takia Ward with Keller Williams Preferred Properties, realtor for Maryland,
Awesome.
DC.
Awesome. Today, you guys, we are talking about this crazy real estate market. We are going to come up with ways on how you can win in this market, what to do, how to prepare, and all of that fun stuff. But first, we are going to watch a video on this crazy market. Give me 1 second. I'm waiting, y'all. My computer's slow. There we go.
Today just to have a look at the listing, and I saw that it had been saved. A pretty good indication things are competitive.
It was really chaotic.
Anne lives in Raleigh's North Farms community and could not figure out what was happening on her street Tuesday evening.
They were double parked in the cul-de-sac. The yard looked like they were having an auction because there were people everywhere.
But no, not an auction, just an open house for this 1,400 square foot, three bedroom, three bath, listed at $260,000.
All of the people.
It was so busy, one realtor who brought a client to look started filming.
Absolutely. The line goes.
Behind the camera,
People were frantic.
Monique Edwards.
All of them ran upstairs and then said, okay, we're putting it off.
Bustle of that video is jarring to see realtors all the time these days.
Surprise it all.
Hopes this shows
When we say that there is remain
a crisis for housing under $500,000.
families, they've got a good income, but that middle housing is where our supply is really horrible.
When you realize it was just an open house, what'd you think?
I just went home and thought about selling that house.
Neighborhood today. Now, I talked with the realtor who's selling this house.
He tells me tonight it is under contract and it had just been on the market for a couple days. Live in Raleigh, Sean Kennedy, CBS 17 News.
All right. Yes. Crazy market. Oh, there's an echo. My bad. Yes. Crazy market, you guys. So yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Ladies, can you hear me okay? Okay.
We can.
All right. So yeah, crazy market. We have a lot of people out here that's struggling. Hey, Facebook user, I don't know who that is. Drop your name in the box below or click on the link at the top. Hello. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy market right now. So today we're going to talk about some ways that you can win in this market. And we talk about this a lot. Hey, Shamika girl. The very first way to win in this market is to save. And the reason why we say save all the time in this crazy market is why? Because we have your escrows, your earnest money deposit, you have your due diligence deposit. They speak volumes in this market. And we always say in this market, we recommend around 1 to 5% for each one of these. Takia, what are you guys seeing in your market?
So it's the same. It's crazy in this market too. Houses, people are flooding to the houses. Multiple offers, overbidding on the houses. So it's crazy here too. I think we're seeing it nationally.
Definitely. So yeah, around 1 to 5% Excuse me. So if you're looking at a $300,000 house, you're making an offer around $300,000. 1% of 300,000 will be around $3,000. So that's for your due diligence and your earnest money around $3,000. So that's each. So, and again, you guys, we don't recommend these as an agent. I don't. A lot of the times, I let them know what's winning. But if you're putting $3,000 down on your due diligence deposit here in this market and you back out, you do not get it back. So those are some of the pros and the cons. Pro, you'll win that house with that money down, possibly. But the con is if you back out, if you have some issues with your inspections, you won't get that money back. Y'all got anything y'all want to add to that?
No, I think like most of the time, down payment options, those are kind of things. But keep in mind that money also, we subtract that from your down payment. So if you're doing $6,000 for your due diligence and earnest money, then we subtract that out of the amount that you need in order to close on that loan. So just like I know a lot of people think about down payments and they think about, oh, well, I need 5% down, or I need 3% down, or whatever. So it's not 3% in addition to the additional money for due diligence and earnest money.
Definitely. And again, what we are seeing again, I said 1 to 5%. So if you think 5% is around like $15,000 each for one of those. But again, if you're paying a deposit anyway, you're just kind of paying that money in advance. But the con is you won't get that money back. If you back out, you get your earnest money back, but you won't get your due diligence back. Do y'all have due diligence in your market, Takia? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah,
No.
A lot of people. Go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you can go on.
No, I was going to say for us, we just have the earnest money deposit, and then they don't have to put a deposit down separately to do their inspections or anything like that. All of that is encompassed in the along with the earnest money deposit. So if they go to the home inspection and during the home inspection, they decide because we'll do as is with the right to terminate. Mm-hmm. And so come back with the inspection report and some things on there crazy that they don't like or whatever that needs to be fixed, then they are able to back out of it and still keep their earnest money deposit. So we don't have two separate ones.
Wow. So question. So in your market, do you guys have like a date? Like for us, our due diligence period. So, okay, how long is that date? Is it a set date or do you get to choose that date?
We choose the date. And so generally we're looking at about between the shortest that we've been making it just to win in this market has been about 5 days. But on average, it's like between 7 and 10. Okay.
See, at one point here, we used to do around like 2 weeks, but now we're doing like 3 because the appraisal, we're waiting on that to come back. Yeah, so it's like 3
so that's
weeks
just totally separate. So that's just like something that's outside of that for part of the due diligence for us. So we'll just have for the home inspection, like 5 days or 7 to 10 days. And then sometimes if we put it in the contract, the seller, they come back, they can negotiate that. I'm like, okay, can you shorten this a little bit? If we did put on there 14 days, I'm like, why would it take you 14 days to get a home inspection, come back and all that kind of stuff? So they can renegotiate that type of stuff for us, those dates.
See, that's good. See, that's the benefit of having people from different areas, because I've heard that a lot. Weird. They said North Carolina's like the only one that does a due diligence period. I hear it a lot. So loan officers, you guys have people that's from out of state. Right? Or you guys you're in different states, right? Do you see different states with due diligence?
I think so. Yeah. So South Carolina, I know they have some. They also have the due diligence. So those are mainly the states that I cover is North Carolina and South Carolina.
Okay. Samantha, are you just in North Carolina?
I just work in North Carolina right now.
Just right now. Awesome. All right. So another thing, again, I don't recommend this as a real estate agent, but this is what's winning in this market. Waiving the appraisal. So basically, if you bid $350,000 on the house, I'm using small numbers. You bid $350,000, but the house only appraises for $300,000. You're saying I'll pay the difference if the house doesn't appraise? I'll let you guys come in before I start talking.
Okay. Go ahead, Erica.
I will say that I've had some people, I don't recommend that either, but I will say that I have had some people kind of use a little bit of a different strategy, which is to say that, hey, I'll pay XYZ amount over the appraisal. So if it doesn't appraise for blah, 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 whatever, then I'll pay $5,000 over that. And seems like those are, those bids have been won, but it's just fiercely competitive right now.
Definitely. And for those of you guys coming in, we're talking about how to win in this market. It's a crazy real estate market. And we have people that would like to win. They're doing multiple offers and they're not winning. All right, Takia or Samantha, y'all can come on in.
And I was just going to say the same thing, Erica. That's what we're seeing in our market too. They'll because I don't recommend waiving that appraisal either. So some people will go in and say that they'll pay X amount above the appraised value of what it comes in at. And actually sometimes in this market here for us, some people are still losing out even doing that. Because they may not have said that the amount that they're going over and stuff may not even win it. And so it's just really crazy out here.
It definitely is. So what you're saying when you say you're waiving that appraisal amount again, let's say even if you don't waive that amount, it's not guaranteed that the seller is going to give you your due diligence deposit back if your house doesn't appraise for that amount. So I highly recommend that you have some strong comps if you decide to, not even over listing price. Whenever you decide to make an offer, make sure you have some strong comps of that neighborhood or those homes that's very similar to that property, because you don't want to bid $350,000 and then the seller say, nope, I'm not about to. The house only appraised for $300,000. The seller will say, nope, I'm not about to adjust this price. And then guess what? They get to keep your $30,000 that you just put down in the due diligence deposit. Yay!
I have a weird random story that my client put down a due diligence, and the air conditioning unit was stolen out of the house. And she ordered appraisal, but we needed air conditioning for the appraisal. But if she would have waived the appraisal, then they would just be like, there's no air conditioning. Like, no one would know. So, I mean, it's putting them a little pressure for them to get it done during the due diligence. And if they won't, then they just won't. But that due diligence is helpful for them in this case and having the appraisal done.
Yeah, the due diligence, but because you have some good sellers. I know I've worked with some good sellers who they're not greedy and they don't want to take anybody's money. And I'm not saying that the seller is greedy or whatever, but you do have some that feel like it's just a bad appraisal and you need to go get another appraisal because, it is what it is. The house is priced properly. It's correct. And they're not budging. So just be careful. Okay, you guys? Bless you.
Bless you.
All right. So the next thing is waiving repairs. So again, this is just basically stating, hey, look, I'm going to get an inspection, but if we find anything that's wrong with this house whenever we do the inspection, we are not going to request that you do any repairs. What do you guys think about that? Any feedback?
Not a good idea. I think it's a bad idea. If you want to protect your investment, that's what it's there to do, is protect your investment. You're paying money up front to protect your investment in the future, but that's just my tidbit. Erica Batts looks like she's going to say something from a lending perspective.
Yeah, I think you just need to be prepared. If that's something that you want to do, you have to be prepared just to be able to pay for those things out of pocket. Depending on what loan type you have, sometimes those repairs may be required in order to proceed with the loan. So if you have an FHA loan and the paint is chipped, you might have to be prepared to either go out there with a paintbrush yourself and paint this, or make some concessions there.
Definitely. That's good advice. Takia, you want to add anything?
Yes. So for us, I definitely don't agree with waiving your inspections. So what we've been doing, like I said, would be like as is with the right to terminate. So you're gonna get that inspection report, and if it's anything crazy in there, you can get out of it. But we do have the protection for like what Erica was saying about the basically like the lender required repairs. That's an exception for us. We have that in the document. So like saying that if there's lender required repairs up to a certain amount, the seller will have to pay that because they can't purchase the house if the lender is requiring these repairs to be done. So that part is outside for us with the repairs of the house.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good. Because here we are definitely a buyer's beware state. So, and some sellers like to place their word as is on there, and the houses are already as is anyway. So they figure if they put it as is on there, they don't have to do any repairs. So yeah, that is one of those situations where the buyer, they're gonna have to try to figure out, okay, well, I gotta get in there to fix this house so I can buy this house. So yeah. Just I don't recommend it. But I would say if you do it, look at the age of the house. If you know you're going to waive your inspections or any repairs and all of this other stuff, I would definitely say take in consideration the age of the house. Now, like I said, 2020 house could have issues, but don't go in there and throw that waiver on there and you know you're getting a house that's built in 1920 or 1955, 1960. Like, come on now. Like, be very careful because anything could be going on in that property right now. And again, a 2020 house could have issues, but just be smart about it.
I agree with the 2020 house. So a lot of people feel like just because you have a new build, you don't need to get an inspection. But you definitely still, anytime you buy a house, I would definitely suggest getting an inspection because you want to know what's wrong with it. So Jesse, can you speak to the difference between an appraisal and an inspection?
Sure. So an appraisal is basically you're going out, you're having somebody come out to check the value of the property. An inspection, they are out checking to see if there are any issues that's going on with the property. They're under your crawl space. They kind of looking at your roof, but they're not. They're looking at it, but they can't really determine anything. They're checking for leaks and different things like that. Takia, if you want to go deeper, you can, but I'm quick on it.
No, it's basically the same thing. They're looking for everything. I don't know about your market, but ours, the reports can be long and very minor stuff, like it's missing a door stopper or the the faucet is draining slow or something like that. So like what I tell all my clients is we look for the major items during this home inspection to making sure the house is running. Plumbing, electrical, roof, structural, all of that type of stuff.
And they're digging deep with that. The appraiser, they're just kind of going in. Now, if something stands out, that's a different story. But with a VA, their inspection appraisals are a little bit different. But yeah, the inspector, they're digging deep. Like 2 hours, 3 hours inspections? They're out there for a long time versus an appraiser, they're in and out most of the time. Although you're paying a lot. All right, so sight on the scene. Again, don't recommend sight on the scene. Don't recommend sight on the scene. Don't recommend it, but I've seen buyers win looking at making offers on properties that's sight unseen. Now, disclaimers. What do you guys, for Takia, do you have any buyers that's doing sight unseen, and what do you tell them whenever they go out?
I do not have buyers purchasing sight unseen. I do not recommend it. I have heard horror stories of people who have done that, and they have not seen this house, and then they may have seen pictures that the agent went and did for them, but they didn't get the full picture of everything, and then they go to settlement, and this one gentleman went to settlement, then got to the house, and it was a dump, a mess, and just need a whole bunch of cleaning up. And this was an agent, one of her nephews or something bought a house like that, sight unseen, and she was like, why would you do that? So I definitely do not recommend that.
It's our job to make that house look pretty, you guys. Those photos, they look nice, but I tell my clients as well, you can't smell that house, you can't feel those floors, you can't see those ceilings most of the time. If you do see the ceilings, is what we want you to see. But yeah, we're not going to put like bad photos of a property. I mean, Yeah. So again, you can't smell that house through the lens. Y'all lenders, do y'all have any? And as a listing agent, you know, when my clients, especially if I know there is coming soon and they're working on the property, I don't recommend that they take any offers while they're working on it, because people are going to come in and they're going to see everything that you're working on or whatever. But I have had some buyers buy homes with sight unseen. I have. They've done it. Yeah, they've done it or whatever, and it worked out. But again, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't feel that property. All right. Any more feedback?
I do have something to say about that. A couple months ago, I was in the process of buying a home, and I went to see a house. It was really cute, really, really cute, y'all. And I went in and I smelled a lot of nice cleaning stuff, and I was like, oh man, this smells really nice. And I went downstairs and I looked around, and the house habitually gets flooded. But the new paint and the new flooring, I heard something in the flooring, and I seen this one little spot of mold, which I kind of overlooked. But my man friend was there, and he was like, "Hey, did you see it?" And I spoke to the neighbors. That house floods regularly every time it rains, but you can see the watermarks. But when you first go in and you smell it, and it smells new, it looks new, that had been refinished and all that stuff. But you don't know that from pictures. You don't know that from just kind of going in and that happy phase that you have. It's cool and all, but then I realized that the house gets flooded, like the basement, every time it rains. And I was like, oh, well, this is not something for me. But had I not been there and I just looked at the pictures or I just did a quick walkthrough, I wouldn't have known.
And that's why inspections are important. But you're right. And that is good. You went through and you kind of look. And when I go with my buyers, I'm not that agent that kind of walk around and you say, no, because I know they're in love with the property. I'm just kind of going through, I'm looking in closets and looking up under stuff like, hey, you see this? Oh, God, I didn't even see that. And yeah, so because a lot of times we have blinders on, we're in love, we're looking at the house, we're getting the feel of it, but we're not, and if you want to move forward with that, it's cool. I mean, but just let you know, it's right there. Put a sump pump in the basement, you'll be fine.
So I would say for a lot of people are buying in areas that they don't live in, so they feel like they have to buy a house sight unseen. But that's where your realtor comes into play. In this age of technology, there's video tours, FaceTimes, all of those kind of things that can assist you with really being able to see what that property looks like.
Definitely. I had a buyer from California. I told him that. He was like, I want to make an offer on this house. I said, you haven't even looked at this house. You can't see this house. You can't smell it. Hey, looking at the pictures, it needs a little work. All right. Last one, lease back. So what you're offering to the sellers, you're saying, hey, seller, I know you got to move. You got to sell before you buy. What I'm willing, and again, I don't recommend this, you guys. But this is what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to rent your house out to you for about a week or two. Until you get situated. You don't have to rush out. We're leasing it back to you up until you're able to move into your next property. Any feedback?
Don't sell your eggs before it hatch.
Say what?
Yeah, she said don't sell your eggs before they hatch.
Exactly.
But I will say I don't recommend that only because you now have a tenant. And you're subject to those tenant laws. I know there was a case where a seller did a lease back, and because they leased it to the former owners for more than 30 days, they became a landlord. And when the previous owners refused to move, they were stuck. And so they were stuck paying for a house that they had purchased but couldn't live in because the tenants would not move out. And that was during the whole eviction moratorium. So they were able to live there for 18 months. Mm-hmm. And can you imagine having to pay for where you live and pay for your dream house that somebody else is in and won't get out?
Mm-hmm.
No.
This is in California, right? For like over a year, they were trying to get in that house.
Yeah. It was like 18 months.
Yeah, that was my story. Yep. I was going to let y'all talk. Go on. Takia, what you got, girl?
I don't recommend it either. I have had clients that have done that, and I would say, fortunately, it did work out. We didn't have any issues and things like that because they wanted the house and they were open to doing that. But we, like we say, not making it go more than 30 days or anything like that.
There's a new show about worst roommate ever on Netflix. A special.
Worst what?
Worst roommate ever.
Oh
yeah, I didn't look at it, but I saw it come up last night. I didn't look at the preview though.
That's what happened. Some guy moved in, they couldn't move him out, and then one of them turned into a murderer. But it gives you some insight. I mean, it escalated rather quickly. He was a nice man, roommate, then he killed a couple folks. But and he hung himself before a trial. But it's a show about worst roommate ever. So take that.
Yeah, that sounds like a really bad roommate.
I mean,
really bad, Erica, really bad.
Yeah. But they couldn't evict them. They were going through the eviction process and all that stuff. So I would not recommend. If you don't have to, don't do it.
Okay. Y'all got anything else? That's all I have. What y'all have anything else on ways to win in this market? Lenders and Takia, what y'all doing on y'all side?
Those are all pretty much the same. I will say, one, if you could have your when you go to do your loan, I would say if you can actually get it fully underwritten and get a copy of your DU approval and be able to attach that to your offer. That's another way that can stand out, because now it shows that, this is more than likely getting ready to really go. And if it has been, kind of underwritten already by the underwriter, then you may be able, it's going to close. You may be able, I don't recommend it, but you may be able to remove that financing contingency. I don't know if you guys have that, but we have the financing contingencies. And if it's going to go ahead and close, because it's already went through DU, you got the approved eligible, and we're good to go. But I would still highly discuss that with your loan officer before actually removing that type of financing contingency. But that is one way to move forward, because they know that you're serious and ready to go.
Yeah, I've had some lenders call me, and I think that's a good thing, as a seller agent, when they call and say, hey, look, I got a client, they're putting in an offer. I just want to let you know that I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. It's, it's a good feeling that, that they're there and they're standing behind their client. They didn't win, but it's a good feeling. But
yeah, I have my lenders call, and when I submit the offer, I will copy them on that email that I'm sending out. So then they hop on and get ready to send their response and follow up with that agent as well to know what's going on and give the glowing review of this buyer.
It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a lot, especially if you have a lot of buyers from a lender. I want to hear y'all input on it. It's a good feeling because, we feel like we're going to have somebody that's going to communicate as an agent. We have somebody that's going to communicate with us every step of the way. And if they're taking their time out, their weekend or their day to make this call, they're going to do this throughout the entire process.
Yep.
Yeah, communication is very important when you're dealing with your clients and the other realtors. And yes, I do contact listing agents and say, hey, this is where we are with this buyer. They've been fully underwritten. Their file is strong.
Hey, baby.
So basically just standing behind it.
Out in the streets.
Samantha, you talking to us?
All right. She forgot she was muted or something. What? Look, they're going to play it off.
That's the thing about
when you're now.
Live. Anything can happen. So, yes. But yeah, just contacting other real estate agents so they understand the strength of your client's offer, and that I'm basically giving you my word that this is going to close.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So right now, what we have: save your money for your due diligence deposit, your escrow, your down deposits. Down payments. Good gracious Lord. Save your money. Make around 1% to 5% to win in this market as far as your due diligence and your earnest money deposits. Waiving your appraisals, waiving your repairs, sight unseen, lease back. Have a good freaking lender that's going to call and ride for you. Is that it? Did I get everything?
Yes.
I believe you did.
All right. Well, that's it, you guys. That's all we have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Jessie Lynn. I am a Triangle Realtor with A to Z Realty. You can reach me at 818-9854. Erica.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I am your mortgage lender with New American Funding. You can reach me at 919-608-7916.
Samantha.
I am Samantha Harding. I'm with Mortgage Solutions. I can be reached at 919-374-0260.
Takia. Look, Takia, do they call you TT girl? Because I'm ready to call you TT. You're a TT back.
No, they don't call me that.
No, ma'am.
TT.
No, they call me Kia, or I did used to get, when I worked in the government, I did used to get Kiki.
Kiki.
Yeah. So, I am Takia Warrior, Maryland, D.C. Realtor with Keller Williams. I can be reached at 240-513-7996.
You guys, y'all can reach us in the clubhouse. We are on Facebook, Home Buyers Clubhouse. We are a private group. You can find us on our Facebook page to find our private group, and you can find us on YouTube as well at the Home Buyers Clubhouse, and you can find us at www.thehomebuyerclubhouse.com. We'll see you guys on Wednesday at 12:30. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.